Hello and welcome to the Slow Ride Podcast. This is Spencer. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, just off a plane back from Richmond, Virginia, where we were at the World Championship road races there. We had a great time. It was an amazing event, and we actually did a live show there, as I'm sure you're well aware. If you've ever heard this show before, we can't stop talking about it because we weren't sure if anyone would show up. It turns out people did show up. It was awesome, and it was an amazing evening, and we have it on tape. So we are going to play it for you in its entirety, and hopefully that eases some of the pain if you weren't able to attend. And if you were able to attend, you get to relive that pain. So here we go. Let me actually first I need to make a few brief announcements, and then we'll get into it. So first off, we need to thank the Coalition Theater. Matt and the crew there took a leap of faith, blindly letting us come in and use their space for this event, and we are forever grateful for them. It was an amazing experience. We also need to thank Matt Crane of the Richmond Cycling Coalition. He spoke for a little bit about what they're up to. You'll hear that later in the show. We want to thank Bill Sheichten also for coming on the show. He imparting his knowledge. And we need to thank Mike Engel, who warmed up the crowd for us. Did a great set. We threw that set as a bonus after the episode, actually, so keep listening to check that out. We need to thank Frank Cundiff, who made our entire stay in Richmond much, much better than we could have ever imagined. Thank you, Frank. And anyway, without further ado, let's get into the show live at the Coalition Theater, the Slow Ride Podcast, completely unedited.
Everybody give it up one more time for Mike Engel! Yay! Yay! The crowd is now warm. I can feel it. I can feel how warm you guys are. Woo! All right, cool. Nice. Are you guys ready? Up in the. Okay, cool. I didn't know. You guys are I think they're doing like an entrance. All right. Everybody, please give it up for the main event here, the Slow Ride Podcast.
You're listening to the Slow Ride Podcast. Bikes, advice, and rumors straight from the source. The SlowRidePodcast.com and on Twitter, SlowRidePod. Enjoy the ride.
Hello.
Hey guys, this is a little weird.
It's really weird.
A little weird.
This mic stand's pretty pro.
How do I...
The one I have at home is partially made out of cardboard.
So, thanks for coming. Thanks, Mike, for emailing us out of the blue to be our opener. That was pretty rad. We totally recorded it for when you become the next big thing.
Yeah. So, Tim...
Yeah, can they hear you?
The thing we struggle with usually with this podcast is the intro.
Yeah. So, welcome to the 77th episode of the Slow Ride. Okay.
No.
76.
76.
Yeah.
So, some of you probably don't know what this is.
This is the part that we edited out.
Yeah, so you're seeing how the sausage is really made. The Speed Metal Cycling Podcast is here, and they probably do way more editing than us. But some of you don't know who we are. This conversation has been going on for about 12 years.
Yeah.
At a coffee
Sadly.
shop usually. So thanks for coming back. And so we were like, hey, let's start recording, and then maybe people will listen. And now it's kind of, yeah, some people listen. And some people got roped into coming. Someone's mom is here. That was pretty rad. Sorry. All right.
So, yeah, we talk about bikes.
Talk about bikes, rumors, straight from the source. Usually we create them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're ready to do this, little guy?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So we're here in Richmond for the World Championships, obviously, but that's not the biggest cycling event going around. That's definitely cyclocross, and that's why everyone's here to talk about Gloucester.
It's
That's not right.
It's pretty close.
It's Gloucester. Okay, it's Gloucester.
Sure. That's
So
pretty good.
later we're going to talk about cyclocross.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
This is really weird. Normally I see
It
you
is
guys
really
on
weird.
Skype.
Well, usually I turn off the Skype because the connection speed.
Little guy, when he records, is on his neighbor's Wi-Fi. So
No,
sometimes
no.
people ask
I
about
used to be on my neighbor's Wi-Fi. I now have upgraded to my own Wi-Fi.
That's pretty good. That deserves a round of applause.
If you've noticed the quality going up in the recordings,
It's also a little weird where little guy isn't swinging his microphone around.
I
where a
know.
lot of
I
the-
like to.
Yeah,
with it.
I think someday we
So-
should invest in the technology to do a video version of the podcast because the things little guy does, if you ever notice me or Tim being distracted during our show, it's usually because little guy's like doing something with his hair or I don't know.
It's harder to do it on stage. You're all looking at me.
Well, they're all impressed with your hat.
Yeah, it's got a big brim.
So, we were really excited to come here, and we're staying with a friend of ours who's from Richmond, and he's all like, hey, this is the greatest week ever, and it kind of reminded us in Minnesota when the Nature Valley Grand Prix would come to town, former UCI road race, and we were really excited when we saw, like, Freddie Rodriguez.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Like, who just retired after his amazing performance in the
50-50
Jelly Belly team
racing.
time. Yeah.
Wait, he's
multi-time-
done now? After
yeah,
the
he
time
retired.
trial?
Yeah.
That's how he went out? Was
That's
the
how he
time
went
trial?
out, was the team time trial in the
Oh,
Richmond
that's
World
sad.
Championships.
I mean,
It's all right. He beat Tinkoff. And some other great teams like Lupus and Estellas, right?
I have no
That's
idea.
good stuff.
I-
Yeah, we don't.
You're
watch.
looking at me like I read the results of the
So-
team time trial.
We used to be really excited about Nature Valley Grand Prix, and then now, of course, this is the World Championships. And today, our friend was like, "Hey, I was just hanging out with Evelyn Stevens and all these really good pros." And then all of a sudden, someone comes up to me, he's like, "Dude, Sagan's at Starbucks," and then he's totally got a picture with Sagan at the Starbucks, and
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
I got a latte and a selfie with Peter Sagan.
Yeah, it's pretty
What?
cool. He didn't buy local though. Where's Mike? There you are, Mike.
Yeah, man.
This is the kind of podcast we want. Thank you. He was not second in line. Hey, you guys should totally come in and take seats.
Are there seats?
Oh, you're getting beer? Hey, $2 beers all night. So it only will get better. So Richmond is here, and of course, what better way to know how cycling is going in Richmond, especially World Championships?
You know what
than-
you know what I do to figure out how cycling is going in Richmond?
How's that, Spencer?
I pick up my local publications.
Yeah, let's get them out. We got the local newspapers.
I got the what I assume is like a weekly here called Style. This one says it's got all the bikers on the front. It's kind of older photo. It's maybe 2008.
It's a
That's
really
the
fun
Oscar
game.
Farrar.
You can try to spot
There's
all
Thor.
the old pros in there.
There's Tom Boonen.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, what's it say?
Cadell's in here somewhere. He's back
He's in
here.
the
Hey, I got a
There he is.
picture with Cadell at Interbike. I saw
so
his
it says-
dimple, and it was really
So it
awesome.
says, "Here they come," really big, and then smaller in parentheses, "like it or not."
Yeah, we don't know how it's really going because we went on the other side of Broad Street for dinner tonight, and the guy was really angry. He's like, "This is crappy." I don't want to swear.
He
They've-
really held the swear word in and was like, no, I can't do
He's
it.
like, "This is really bullshit. No one's here."
Good job.
And then we're like eating, and we didn't want to tell everybody we're here for the bike race. And then it's on the news, and it's all like, "Last day of weekend racing, traffic."
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
So,
that.
This wasn't that positive. It also says the big bike race issue, which I thought was this physical paper, but maybe it's the larger issue.
Yeah.
So much meaning.
So
this
what-
one's
This one was okay, but I
one's
like
pretty positive.
I like the preview for who's going to win the men's
yeah,
race.
This
here.
is like from the Richmond Daily newspaper. I don't know what it's
This is a
called.
good collector's edition. You're going to want this.
Yeah.
It has a lot of cool things.
A lot of good artwork in here, but they had a good preview of the race. Let's see, where was that?
Top
This
men.
is-
Remember
Top
the top
men.
men?
Oh, yeah,
Top
top
men.
men.
These are who to watch if you're
So-
betting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Fabio Aru.
Not here.
He's one to watch.
Not here, but he's a prime pick if he was here.
We've got Nairo Quintana. He had a great
He is a
Vuelta.
movie star rider.
He's on good form.
Sponsored by someone.
Mark Cavendish. I know.
Not here.
He's not
Derek's
here?
favorite cyclist.
Mark Cavendish isn't here.
Mark Cavendish
I-
is your favorite cyclist?
I like to keep up to date on these things. I didn't know he wasn't going to be here.
It also says current team at Quick Step, but who can fault them for that?
Yeah. He's no longer on that team. He's now on MTN Quebeca and totally going to ruin the coolest team in the professional peloton.
Spencer, I remember you saying
And
that
he's
he would
taken
never
Bernard
be.
Isel with him, and now all of a sudden,
Wait.
Top Knot is
Wait,
out.
wait. Little guy tried to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Spencer, you said he would never in a million years. In a million years. You were adamant. You
Start
yelled.
talking again. Start talking again.
I'll interrupt later. I don't interrupt.
I did say that. Never in a million years, I think, was the direct quote.
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, they do
Okay.
mention Taylor Finney,
I just wanted
so
to
they at
make sure
least
we had that
got
clarified.
they at least got one American with Taylor Finney.
They do. They do have Taylor Finney.
That's pretty good.
And he could win.
Yeah. So let's go to the gloss. He's gonna win.
That was my joke. You just did my joke.
It's okay. He's the team leader now that TJ Van Garderen is in here. Has anybody seen TJ? Little guy's been working out for his arm wrestling competition with
He's
TJ
on the
in a
list.
little
We
bit.
put him on the list. So if he shows up, he can definitely get in for free. There's a
Pretty impressive, huh?
super sweet
Your
cycling
silence lets me know.
glossary in here too, which I learned a lot of good words.
This is good, the
About
cycling
cycling.
glossary. So now you guys can be as educated as the Slow Ride podcast.
Yeah, we have great stuff in here like brain bucket.
That's
That's a
helmet.
common cycling term.
Yeah, I use a brain bucket all the time. Ooh.
Sometimes we jam. The cyclists jam.
What is it when you jam?
It's a period of hard, fast riding. It's like
I always
it's
thought
like
the jam.
it's like when little guy used to roll up the side of the pack, you know, when he comes up from behind and you see him, you know, your teammate in the familiar colors, and he's like, "Come on, let's jam!" And you guys, you know, you jump on his wheel and you go. You just ride hard for.
I remember all those
a
times we
period
did
of
that.
time.
Yeah, me too.
We have a couple of Minnesota. We have one Minnesota racer here that remembers the
We
glory
jammed a lot,
times
didn't we?
where we used to jam a lot. Yeah,
So much more.
there's a
Jammed a
couple of
lot.
jams
They
going on.
also they define the USCF as the United States Cycling Federation, the organization that governs cycling, which I don't think has existed.
Is anybody here a member of the USCF? For those of you that aren't cyclists, in America, that's a pretty funny joke.
Yeah, that's
Hey, feel free, come on in, Triple X Racing. Hey, I used to race for Triple X Racing in 2006. You got,
that's
yeah.
cool. Good job.
And I totally burned every bridge in the city when I left that team. That was awesome.
Yeah, they're probably still dealing with some of that fallout.
Who's that? Is that the other side of the Speed Metal Cycling podcast? It's okay, no one noticed.
It's fine.
So, thanks for the... there is one decent review. This is the Style magazine where they do a photo essay.
It's the same magazine.
It is, but it looked like they changed. So this one's pretty cool.
But they changed within a week. They went from against it to for it.
Well, they got to play both sides.
This one's
Pretty,
all right.
It's a pretty cagey political move.
This one talks a lot about did you guys see that the Confederate flag was flying over the race the other day on Saturday?
Time trial, yeah.
On the time trial, someone like the Friends of the Confederate Flag, some losers,
It's who they are.
and they have their picture right here, and you can see, and it was circling over, and it said Confederate Heroes Matter, but they spelled heroes Heros.
Yep.
So they can't spell heroes. There you go.
There you go.
That's So what else is going on in
that's-
Richmond?
That's pretty much...
The other
that-
big news is that someone stole a bike, and they found that right away. The police department got Evelyn Stevens' bike back right
Yeah,
away.
we talked
That was
about
cool.
that.
Oh, sorry, they
so
didn't
that's,
listen.
That's like pretty much all I got about Richmond out of these papers. Like
That's it.
That's it. That's all we
I
got.
did a little wandering around the neighborhood here, and it seems pretty all right. But I mean, I don't know much about Richmond. So what do you think we can do?
So we're going to bring up former pro Matt Crane, who runs the Richmond Cycling Corps, which is going to tell us about a really cool program that we've known for a little while. A friend of mine down in Gainesville used to work with the group. Pretty awesome. He's also going to tell us a little bit about the course. So let's give it up for Matt Crane and his program.
All right.
This is actually pretty exciting. Proceeds from tonight. Somehow there's proceeds. By the way, whoever pre-bought tickets for a $5 show and paid a $1.30 service fee, that is why pre-registration is the worst thing ever.
We could probably thank Colin Reuter at Cross Results.
You should talk into the microphone. Just look at them. Just look at Bill.
I don't know you. You're making me kind of uncomfortable.
You don't want to take that chance.
So this is Matt Crane. Matt, tell us about the Richmond Cycling Corps. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about thigina for a minute, if we could.
Oh, God. It was like hamburger.
There's stuff on the table here we haven't addressed. Okay, so I don't know any of these guys, but they seem awesome.
We talked to him on the phone for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're kind of friends now.
Yeah.
BFF.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's kind of a special day for me. I raced the World Championships 11 years ago in the U23 category, which was the race today. So I was a little misty, at certain points. It's very sentimental. But I work with a nonprofit now in town. We work with kids in public housing out in the East End. It's not to get real too much, but it's cool. My journey has taken me off of like the self-centered track of being a professional athlete towards trying to pass it on to kids who live in some kind of bleak environments and whatnot. So, the bike is a vehicle out of poverty for these kids, and I'm trying to help transmit some of what I learned on the bike, racing all over the place, shaving my legs, and doing all that kind of thing.
How'd that go over? Hey, guys, shave your legs.
Yeah, I got them in spandex. We're on the spandex stage.
Was that the first level with spandex? What did you start
Spandex
with?
was big.
Like just baggy shorts?
It was like a waterfall, man. Like once the first guy dressed down in spandex, everybody, it was okay.
We're at the point of the interview where I just interrupt and ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, no,
so
let's do it.
this is just going to be, how many people are in the program?
We have 15 kids. We have a high school team and a middle school team, both the first inner-city such programs in the country.
So they race mountain bikes, road?
Mountain bikes, road a little too much like, it just gets kind of crazy with the drafting and with the cars and all that. So mountain bike, you just kind of set them loose in the trail and off they go. And, plus there's mountain bike racing in the high schools now. So
and they do that?
In California. Yeah, man, they crush it. We're third in Virginia.
So
yeah.
When they show up to races, are the rest of the kids totally freaked out? Because I used to play hockey in St. Paul, like the inner city team, and the kids were like totally freaked out when you went out to the suburbs. They're like, "Oh man, they're gonna stick me." You're like, "Yeah."
I don't want to say too much, but it gets really interesting out there.
I'm sure.
We bring a certain element, a certain bit of culture that's lacking in the sport.
That's very key, very lacking, and that's why it's a really awesome program.
Yeah.
And you've created single track behind a high school.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we did.
Is that where they all go smoke weed?
Pardon me?
Is that where all the kids in the neighborhood go smoke weed?
I think actually they were smoking worse than that back there, or somebody was.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, we're finding some crazy shit. But, I should point out, I'm not the founder of the program. I'm taking way too much credit.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
You go,
take
I
all the
can-
founder
I
here?
can leave. Do you want me to leave?
Are you
No.
the founder here?
You can say, I suppose.
Yeah, but I was involved at some level. We last year we created this mountain bike terrain park out behind Armstrong High School. It's one of the lowest performing schools in Virginia. I'll point out as well, we're the only public school with a team, and we built a mile mountain bike terrain track out there. And we've got like community garden, 42 trees,
awesome.
27 features. Y'all can come ride, man. Come out to the hood and ride mountain bikes. It's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great. The program sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
How long have you... And there's a bike shop
What's
that's
the
involved
worst
too.
youth bike program in America? you can list it off. This is the worst.
Yeah.
They've only helped one kid.
Well, that's pretty rad. Thanks for sharing. So what's your favorite part of the course?
Ooh. Actually, I should tell you, I haven't showered. I just rode the course, did that Concord Cobbles thing.
Did you just do that?
I just did that.
Did you
it
pay
scary?
$130?
Cheering me on. No, I kind of pulled some strings.
Oh, good,
sort of a
good.
deal.
Because that was like lawyer and dentist fest.
It was
pretty
really
amazing.
Was. A lot of Cervelos. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's all good.
Do you have a titanium bike?
Carbon, DeRosa, Italian, man. Come on.
Okay, I'm just checking because there's a lot of titanium bikes out there today. A lot of over 35.
We're talking nonprofit
Riders.
salary. Nonprofit
Okay.
salary. Yeah.
So how was it?
How was it?
The ride. Did you see any crashes? I heard there was some good carnage.
I don't want to make a joke out of it because that guy might be dead. I'm serious. Like, he was like not looking so
Bummer.
responsive.
Let's get Mike
It was like
up
all
here
Wojo
again.
Wayland, Giro d'Italia kind of thing. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were jamming,
Hey.
bro. You're jamming, and then that
Hey,
guy-
Speed Metal, they're totally watching, tweeting away. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So now the most important question we
Right.
have for you.
Okay.
Right. So you've got some experience with the World Championships before. You're obviously familiar with cycling. So you probably know that back in 1989, Greg LeMond won the World Championships in the rain. In 1993, Lance Armstrong won the World Championships in the rain. And we have some forecasted rain for Sunday. So does that mean Tyler Farrar is going to win the World Championship? Yes or no?
Definitely yes.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
That's the right answer.
And you used to race with Tyler.
Yeah.
Did he have the man bun?
No, I actually don't. What is this? He's got the man bun?
Yeah.
He's got a little top
It's
knot
amazing.
thingy.
The top knot.
Man, he used to rock like the Belgian haircuts. You know, the Belgians do this like variation of a mullet. You know, I think it's like big if you go to like, you know, discotheques in Ghent or something. I don't know, but
Or the foam party in Louisville.
yeah. No, Tyler, man, he's like basically Belgian now. I don't think he's American. He's like a consummate Belgian. He like speaks the language and shit. But I mean, real nice guy, super nice guy, one of my favorite people. What you want dirt? Are we here for dirt?
Rumors straight from the source.
Yeah, it's yes.
I think the last time I saw or really talked to Tyler was at the World Championships in 2004 in Verona. He's one of those cool bike riders. There's two types of bike riders. There's ones who party and ones that don't. He and I party. And, we made the most of that city, man. But I remember in some stage of a blackout being escorted out of some nightclub because evidently, like in Italy, you're not allowed to, like, dance with women unless you, like, ask their father first or something. So, like, I didn't know that. And, some cycling press escorted me and Tyler off the premises and got us home. And I think that was, like, the last real interaction I had with him.
Except tomorrow when he's on the podium.
Yeah, obviously.
That is definitely World Championship material.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We're
sir.
taking it back to Cipollini era. Like, this is good.
The golden age.
I'm feeling good about this.
All right. Well, Matt, thank you for telling us a little bit about the program. Ask him questions later. It's pretty rad.
Am I done?
What's next, Tim?
This normally gets edited out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is where we stop and say, should
This is the
get a
dead
break in
time
the
between.
show right
Yeah,
now?
this is pretty bad. Hey, we got a podcast review on iTunes. We have 48 now. There's been a couple. A lot of people talking about cycling pronunciation, which I'm really good at. The Speed Metal Cycling Podcast pronunciation guide does not help me because I don't go to that website. So DJ Burkhart says, so good, really great podcast with a good cadence between hosts. If there's anything I'd ask for, it'd be weekly race results from the Wednesday night cyclocross.
Oh.
It's what the people want.
It got
damn
canceled
it.
last week.
So little guy was going to do a Wednesday night
Yeah.
cyclocross race.
Yeah.
So tell us about the cyclocross
How'd you
race
do?
last Wednesday.
It rained, so they canceled it.
What?
Do you live in Austin, Texas?
Yeah, well, it's St. Louis Park, same thing.
Okay. No, it's a mix.
Yeah, it's
Portland.
yeah, it's St. Louis Park is like Portland and Austin.
Did it actually rain? Oh God! Did it actually rain, or was it just forecast?
No, it actually rained.
Okay.
The funny thing is, it rained the week before during the race, but they didn't cancel it then. But it rained. It was like forecasted rain, so they pre-canceled it out of fear.
Hey, is
tree people.
Yeah.
Boomer's here. He just tweeted, says, hey, UCI Cycling brings big badass podcast to Richmond, Virginia. Brian Cookson says, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, nice.
That's awesome that they came to our podcast.
Speed round. Answer immediately. Which Schleck are you?
Andy.
Well, Frank, then I guess.
Okay.
What's the
Are there-
dad's name?
are
What's
there
the
more?
dad Schleck?
I'm a Kim Kirchen kind of guy. That's the only real Luxembourgian.
Their dad was pro.
Well, they don't get along.
I do like a good full Schleck. I mean, who doesn't?
What
right?
was a full Schleck? We talked about this once.
It was the full
The
unzip.
full
The
unzip.
jersey and it's
the
flowing.
glorious flapping.
And then you climb faster.
You climb faster when you unzip the jersey?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the arrowness is negated by the Schleck power.
Do we know if there's a Schleck here at the race? Is Schleck the Luxembourg rider?
No, he's not. He's not on the team this year.
Who do they have?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Should we do like a normal podcast where I like Google stuff?
Hey, what was the country we were going to get little guy to become
Iceland.
Iceland. We were thinking because the Norwegians were out today
Yeah, it was-
on Libby Hill, and
think
we
I
were
could
like,
be an
and before you
Icelander?
showed up, we were like, hey, maybe he can be from Iceland, and then you
Yeah.
can be the
We just
only.
got to get you married off to some nice Iceland lady.
Yeah,
And-
Caitlin would be into that.
Oh,
Caitlin's
you
the
know
news
what?
desk.
Speaking of Caitlin, isn't it her birthday today, little
It
bit?
is her birthday. Happy birthday, Caitlin.
Hey,
It's
Velo
Caitlin's
Louisville.
birthday, and I'm
Why
here
are you
with you.
here?
Is Velo Louisville here? Oh, scary. Oh, hey, what's up, man?
He's here.
He says, hey, must resist urge to heckle. Is it really that bad already? Because I know these guys are all ready to go. This is pretty much how this thing goes. We're live on Periscope? Oh, God. Oh,
That's
okay.
good. That's it.
Thank you.
Oh, you're not resisting well at all.
All right, so Spencer, you were mountain biking the other day.
Oh God, I really was.
This is an
That's
awesome.
what this is?
Yeah.
It's a woods sort of thing?
It's a mountain bike story.
Okay.
yeah.
Let's hear
So
it.
there's a Wednesday night mountain bike ride. It's not chip timed or scored or anything.
Then how do you know?
I Strava'd it. Oh.
Good.
Sometimes when I
Thank
go
God
mountain
some
biking,
technology
no,
came
no,
in
when
to
you go,
save
Well,
that.
so
stop.
I
When
was-
you go mountain biking with Strava, and then it cuts the course if you're using your cell phone. Have you noticed? That's how I get some KOMs.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Good job.
Continue.
So I was riding with like four other guys, and I've probably talked about this before, but I'm an awful mountain biker. Like I'm terrible.
I know.
It's
I am better.
That's not
still
maybe
debatable.
not true.
That's still debatable.
That's pretty debatable.
Even might be.
I'm not a good mountain biker, but I can confidently say I'm
Well,
better.
because
than
you
both
still
of
ride a 26-inch Klein.
Yeah.
So do I.
Okay, sorry. Tell your story.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm riding. I'm off the back because that's pretty standard, and I flatted, and my stands didn't really. It was trying to do its job, but it didn't really do its job very quick, and so the group I was with rode away, and that's fine. Like I knew I would catch up to them eventually, but so I'm in the woods and the fells outside of Boston, which is a big nature preserve with a ton of trails, and people walk their dogs and go hiking and do all kinds of stuff. And there's maybe I've heard it's like the biggest nature preserve in a metro area. Anyway, it's huge, and I was in a new part of it that I hadn't been in before, on some new trails. And anyway, messing around with my tire. Finally get it to kind of hold a little bit, and I'm riding out slowly along this trail that everyone had just been on like moments before, and I see a jogger coming towards me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to get out of the way. He's kind of cresting a hill. I can see his head, and I can see his body, and he's, a jogger, so he's not wearing a shirt. And then as he comes more over the hill, he's not wearing anything else.
So completely naked.
Completely.
Was he wearing
Like-
shoes?
Eggplant and cherries and everything.
A Moshicon joke.
That's what you call them?
Yeah, that's an emoji jokes.
Oh.
Yeah. This is,
Yeah, you don't know. You don't have a phone that has
Oh, I
emojis
didn't
yet.
know. I do. Look, it's
It's a
real.
flip phone.
yeah. So anyway, he didn't stop. He was just coming at me along the trail, and I was like, I guess I got to move over. And he said, "Hey, just passing through," and continues on his way, like no
he
big
said
deal.
just passing
Just
through.
passing through.
Because that's like when people are trying to be sneaky and they go do 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 do.
No, he just gave a little wave.
Like you don't need to. If you're just passing through, you don't need to know you're passing.
Was he wearing
through.
shoes?
I can't remember. Which
Or was he wearing those toe
Is-
shoes? This is probably a toe shoe kind of guy.
it's
Yeah,
a little
it probably
scary
was.
that I can't remember because I don't know what I was looking at.
So
Oh, we know you were looking at. Come on.
after
you
he
gotta
comes-
look. You need to know if he's what
Is
kind
he
of jogger he is.
I'm hoping he had the toe shoes, but he may have been a complete he was clearly into.
So it didn't look like he was
Not
running
wearing
from
anything.
anything.
No.
Like
And
every-
in retrospect, he may have had like a fuel belt. With
Oh, I hope so.
You need to have your energy.
I'm not sure. So maybe he was on a kind of a long run.
If he had just a belt and no shoes, that'd be pretty great.
Yeah. So anyway, what happens? He just passing through, and he goes through, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I keep going, and a minute up the road, I catch up to my buddies who had pulled off and were waiting for me, and they're like, "Oh, did you get a flat?" And I was like, "Holy shit! Did you see the naked guy?" And they're like, "What naked guy?" He was right there. And they didn't see him, and they were only like a minute, maybe 2 minutes up the road. And they
5.
didn't. Where did the naked guy come from? And where did he go?
So he's
He's
like
a ghost.
He's the Boston unicorn.
He's something. That's my naked man story.
That's
That's
all
all
I
I got. It was amazing.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
I like it.
I would totally freak out. I would have taken a picture.
I've just kind of tried to repress the memory, and now I've just brought it all back up.
It's okay. There's only like 40 people here listening.
That's true.
What's that? You want to talk more about mountain biking? Oh, no mountain biking.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek Lewis over here was at the Emmys. He did that Rafa ride. How was it? Did you win an Emmy?
That's what you get for heckling.
All set? You didn't have to.
Didn't get the nod.
That's okay.
Man.
So we talked about it earlier about the real reason people listen to the podcast is for cyclocross advice because we're professionals. We're experts on cyclocross.
Yeah.
It's the best discipline.
And that's why everybody's
It's
here
like,
tonight.
I need to go get some more $2 beer if I'm going to listen through this. So everyone's here for cyclocross, and so we need to have a fact checker
Why?
because just to prove that we're right and we know
Okay.
everything. So we called up our buddy from Crosshairs, Bill, and if you've never been to crosshairs.com or bought one of his T-shirts, this is totally the guy. He also got like pretty awesome. No cowboy hat. A little disappointed. But let's give it up for Bill from Crosshairs.
I'm just going to put this right here. All right. I like this.
I've never done this before.
There. Is it too high now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. We got it.
Got it?
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Doing fine. So you're here. Crosshairs.com. Probably everyone knows the Svenness?
Well, it's actually cxhairs.com.
CXHairs.com.
Yeah.
And is it Sven?
Crosshairs.com is like some militia out there. You can go to it.
Really?
Okay.
You'll learn a lot.
CXHairs.com. And you do the Sven Ness videos,
This is correct, yes.
right? And the Gwen Ness videos.
Yes,
So-
branched out into triathlon.
So for the record, that's one correct fact, Tim.
Yes. So, wait, you branched out into triathlon?
Yeah,
I have a question.
please.
Why?
Well, I know this is a loaded question. There is actually a cyclocross connection to why I did this. The person that contacted me is the current. Is he current? You get to fact check this. Is he current? The current Minnesota cyclocross.
No, he won the Minnesota State Cross Championship like 8 years ago.
Like 8 years ago? Okay. Well,
Patty? Yeah, he's
so it was a cyclocross guy who is married to the best ITU, International Triathlon Union, racer in the world champion, Olympic medalist, Gwen Jorgensen.
Not Olympic medalist yet. Fact number 2.
World champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that much, but yeah, she just
okay.
won it.
Yeah, she won the
Second time in a
series.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really awesome.
But I mean, it's just, what is this other than a series? The UCI says world champion, and now they're world champions. It's the same thing.
If you've never watched an ITU triathlon, it's like the only one you should watch because they allow
They
draft.
They actually race on the bike. It's none of this Kona stuff where it's just this line and they're not allowed to get near each other. They actually race each other on the bike and they can draft. It's draft legal.
But they get to have aero bars.
and if
so,
they want little mini aero bars, they can have those too.
so it
I
costs
don't
us.
want to interrupt this fascinating conversation about triathlon.
I know I got up here to talk about cyclocross, and
Okay,
now you're like
sorry.
throwing me into this.
Well, I really like the Gwen videos. They're pretty awesome.
thank you.
So, okay, Sven Ness videos. You've met
Yeah.
Sven several times. You just started a podcast.
Yes.
Cross CX Hairs Radio.
No. That one's Crosshairs Radio.
Oh, man.
So, Vegas just happened, the grass crit. It was the first ever World Cup in the United States. I think there's like 5 two flyovers, 4 sets of stairs, lots of grass, and like 100 feet on a sidewalk.
There's a sand too.
Sand.
There's hills.
Those count as hills? They're
How
like
do you
bumps.
rate that Cross Vegas course? Because this is a point of contention among us that,
I think it's a really hard course.
well, yeah, it's all
It's a
grass.
super hard course.
Is it just a hard course because it's like riding on a wet blanket? Like it just looks like
That's
it's
part
like,
of it.
It's just
sure.
heavy.
But it's also, there's a lot of elevation.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of elevation on that course.
All right, I'll believe you.
It goes into this bowl. This is good podcasting when I'm doing this with my hand.
That's why we have a live show.
Yeah, no, there is a ton of climbing on. That's where Katarina Nash won, on the climbing. She got a gap on the hills. No one was able to follow her.
It was really cool to see all the top racers in the country, in the United States.
was amazing.
For the first time since Louisville.
Absolutely.
So that was
The
pretty
best
rad.
thing, this is what I loved, is that you went back into the team section, and if you ever seen like European cyclocross races, and you see the Sunweb team, and they have like 3 different buses and then they have their trailers that just have their stuff in it, and then they have like sprinter vans, and it's like this little village. They had like a Winnebago with a little Sunweb banner on it, and then like the Cannondale guys are next to them, and they got like their bus set up, and they got this little villa set up. I'm like, this is good. This is where it's good. This is where these Belgians get to understand what it's like for an American to go over to Europe and slum it,
And then they destroy us.
Oh, they still won.
Hey,
But,
Jeremy Powers did pretty awesome. That's America's most popular cyclist, by the way.
Who's that?
Jeremy Powers, by far the most
Absolutely.
popular cyclist.
So, what I understand
Are
about
you
cyclocross-
periscoping us? Oh, God.
What I understand about cyclocross as being the new exciting thing
That always happens.
is Jingle Cross. The rumors that might be a World Cup.
Yeah. More than rumors. So they met last year with the UCI Commission.
This
Didn't
is
get-
Iowa City,
Didn't get
Iowa.
the race. Iowa City, Iowa, where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to get rid of all these jokes.
Can I tell you something? Can I just a little sidebar here? When you started talking about Minnesota, my wife, who was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. Well, whatever. I don't know who these people are. She was
Sorry.
like, they're from Minnesota? And she's...
It's like a magical
Now she's
place.
engaged.
grew up in St. Paul.
Oh, really?
St. Paul, I'm from St. Paul, too.
Oh,
Como
all
Park.
right.
Where are you from?
And then she was like, oh! And all of a sudden, you guys were interesting.
That's how it works.
So,
That's how we get you.
So Jingle Cross may
Yeah.
become a World Cup.
Correct.
3 days, just 1 day, but still do the 3 days of racing?
That I don't know, because it's really hard to have the World Cup and then have the USAC races and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's
So-
also not going to be very jingly, because it's going to be like in September.
If
Yeah,
no one's
and-
been to Jingle Cross,
Wait, would
you
they
have to
would they
go.
do two then? Would they do
No,
like
no,
the
no.
World
Better
Cup?
yet, here is the
and then
only
other?
thing you need to go see about Jingle Cross is Tim sitting on Mount Crumpet, chasing down America's most popular
cyclist.
cyclist.
This was 2004. I was on Triple X Racing, maybe 2006, and I had
Oh,
a
you
Triple
weren't
X
on
Racing
Triple A,
skin
right?
suit.
Yeah.
No, it was like my last. It was after I got kicked off. The team,
And
but I still
this
had it.
is why America's most popular cyclist is America's
It's
most
true.
popular cyclist, because he stopped leading the race to go over, as Tim was bugging him every lap, to sign this skin suit in the middle of the elite race. Stopped, signed it, and then kept on racing, and I believe he won.
Oh yeah, he
Still
won.
It's
By
my
a
life's
lot.
been all downhill since.
Yeah. That's
was
the
amazing.
Jingle Cross. That's UCI
Yeah.
race, World Cup. All of that doesn't matter. Just that happened, that the jersey got signed. That's it. That's what's important.
Yes,
All
it
right.
is, and that's actually so they're going to become a World Cup probably.
Yeah.
So everyone should go there
Because of that.
because of that.
They've seen the YouTube clip.
You're welcome.
The YouTube hits were through the roof. I mean,
It is really good.
So it's going to be rainy and cold on Sunday. Who's your pick to win?
Well,
It's
I have
cyclocross
a
weather.
question for you all. I'm going
Yes.
to throw it back in. Who, and this is actually a Taylor Jones question. So this is questions
Uh-oh.
from the crowd.
This is definitely-
Oh, there can be more of these.
Who is going to be the top cyclocross racer in the men's and women's?
Well, I don't want to go there yet because I already have my pick for the World Championship. It's going to be Stebar because he's going to win the whole damn thing. And it's going to be the greatest thing ever.
No,
Someone
but-
told me not to
but
say
not.
Stebar out loud because now he's going to crash and break his collarbone because I have a tendency to have a favorite racer. We can go through our list right now of my favorite.
Lars Baum, I believe that's how you pronounce it, not Boom.
He's not going to be better than Steve.
Are you challenging my pronunciation?
I have a list.
Let's go.
All right?
oh,
Not here.
So, you want to explain what you're going to do now?
All right. I am not a good person to really be
This is
an
for you.
expert on this. I'm pronunciation, I'm no better than you. I did the first name on
that
this
can't possibly be true.
a little better. I get the same thing, and there are many Belgians that give me a hard time about my pronunciation. So I came up with a list for you to read off.
I'm ready.
I can tell you the first one because I got him to do a show promo for me, and now I actually know how to pronounce his name. It's not what you think.
All right.
Well, there we go.
go.
Let's
What
hit
do we
it.
get to rate Tim here on
Yep.
a scale of 1 to 10?
This is a fair amount here. Wout van Aert.
No.
What is
Well, I
it?
mean, the Van Aert part is fine.
Van Aert?
Now, most would say
Wout?
it's Yeah, it's more of a...
So Wout van Aert?
It's like a wow with a T on it, but then when he says it, it's more like...
Are you guys taking notes, Speed Metal? Get this in your database.
They're looking down. It's more like art. He was like, Art van Aert. So there you go. That's how he
Wout
says
van
it.
Aert.
Art van Aert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zednik Stybar.
I'd go Stibar, but,
Klaus van Tornout.
Now, that's an interesting one. I think you're okay, but there's like 10 different ways to say Van Tornout.
How does Renat say it?
I'm a little scared because Tim's like basically 3 for 3 right now.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Oh, no, there's
well,
some...
that's interesting you mentioned Renat because I had
just
the
read through the
opportunity
list.
and I blew
There's
it.
Jonathan Page. I got that one.
No, that's the punchline.
Yeah.
You were the worst.
Dieter Speak? I've never
it's-
heard of Dieter Speak.
He is Lauren Swick's brother.
Is that a cyclocross racer?
That didn't help him at all.
He will
you know who
he will
that
be
is?
one of the best. He also you will know Lauren Swick from some greatest hits as Ozone Doping and Baby Food.
Baby food.
Baby food. Oh.
Yeah.
He was one of the Gerber guys.
Yeah, so that's his little brother.
So, baby food doping
Yeah.
Yeah.
and ozone dope. That's some next level stuff.
Cleared of all charges.
Speaking of cleared of all charges, you stay up here for a second. Has anybody been noticing Tom Danielson's Strava lately?
Oh, yeah.
So Tom Danielson, all over the Strava, people like leave comments like, "Hey, doper," and then he's now leaving comments that are saying like,
Foot and mouth.
"Hey, you're about to have a foot and mouth party at the end of the month." So like Tom Danielson is coming back, and we've had several.
We've had some reliable.
We've had some very reliable sources in the
They-
direct messages, and they were like, "Can
they
you guys
wish to
keep a
remain
secret?" And we're
anonymous.
like, "No, we cannot keep a secret." And he's like, "All right, well, we'll just let this one play out." But Tom Danielson is coming back, scooped. So I don't know how they're going to play this, and how Jonathan Vaughters is going to continue to have Tom Danielson on the team. Sorry.
I think it's
But-
probably easier to have him on the team if he
Yeah.
comes back than if he's actually.
It's got to be a really
convicted.
good reason. Like Tom Danielson, like how's he going to have any trust? He's like, "Oh, it's
Oh,
contaminated
never
supplement."
mind, guys. It was just baby food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so Tom Danielson.
It's just
come
ozone
back.
doping.
The,
No big deal.
the Belgian Federation is going to clear him.
Tom Mewson?
I'd go Mason,
Who's that?
guy, who now another
Baby food?
ozone
Yeah.
ozone guy.
Julian. Oh God.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
Julian Teramarazak.
Perfect, nailed it.
Nailed it.
That's
I
good.
love it.
I liked it.
All right.
So you're welcome.
All right.
Oh,
So-
wait! Come on, let's go. You skipped over John Dunulawara.
Oh God.
Come on.
Even after you say it, John Duluwanaro.
Yeah, actually, so.
Oh, there you go.
Little guy.
Yeah.
Tell us about your cab ride here from the airport.
Oh, Daniel Tekla Heimanot was my cab driver. Did anybody else have Daniel Tekla Heimanot as their cab driver? Because when
And this is not an off.
No,
joke.
this is not.
real.
This is not a bad joke.
So- sounds like
when
it.
I told him when I his little badge was hanging on the seat in front of me, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's a cyclist with your name." He's like, "Yeah, everybody's been telling me that."
Like his name was seriously like on his badge.
It actually
was
was.
Daniel.
Yeah.
This isn't like a really bad joke. This
No,
is
it's
like,
real. It was
He
really
was like,
exciting.
everyone keeps telling me this.
And then I was thinking, like, oh, I think he's racing, and then I looked up and he's not. I don't think so. That's kind of a
That's
bummer.
almost as good of a
So-
cab story as
So
ours.
not only did you tell this guy that there's a bike racer named after him that's racing here.
Yeah, I lied to
You
him
lied
because I
to
thought he
him.
was. I was like, yeah, I think he's racing this weekend. I didn't really know what I'm talking about. So
You should come to the podcast.
he didn't
and
seem
learn
to
more.
care though. He didn't seem that excited about
Should
the
leave
bike
him a
race.
decent tip.
Yeah, I gave him a
Okay,
really great
that's
tip.
Just stay up here for a little bit longer because our cab story is pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was a good cab story.
We have a good cab story.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got off the plane and I grabbed a cab and I got in and the guy says, "Where are you going?" And I gave him the address and he looked at me like I was crazy. And he was like, "What?" And I gave it to him again and he was like, "I was just there."
That was my cab driver. Small town. He's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, he was like, "There was some other guy with a funny haircut."
He said,
He
"I
did.
like my
He said
hair."
that.
Funny haircut. Oh, okay, well,
He said he
So-
left a nice tip though. So
you're welcome.
He made
That
a
was
comment
challenge
that-
to you.
I know.
He said it's the busiest week ever for him. He said he's not complaining and he's making a ton of money.
That's pretty good.
So some places seem to like it.
So apparently he doesn't read the Style magazine.
So who's going to be the top who's your pick to win the world championships? Bill?
Zdenek Štibar.
There you go.
Yeah.
High five.
Czechoslovakia.
So-
Who can I tell you that I had the opportunity to talk to today,
Really?
and I
Show off.
I missed it.
You missed it? You didn't talk to because you wanted to come hang out with us.
You know.
No, because you had quite the incident on your bike ride today.
I did. I had a good one. Yep.
You got hit by a car
A little bit.
and
yep.
then chased the guy down.
I did.
And then it ended with the police pulling a gun on the guy that hit you as he walked like 3 blocks away into more cops.
This is all true. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
And it would be really awesome if you're that guy's lawyer now.
Well. Yeah. I after growing up in Iowa City, we moved to Richmond, so I sort of went to high school and college here. So this was my good return to like riding bikes in Richmond and stuff. Like, it hasn't really changed.
All right.
So thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
You're pretty awesome. cxharris.com. And buy the shirts. The shirts are awesome. They're modeling them.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
So speaking of cyclocross action, today we're on Libby Hill, by far the best place to watch because there's a giant video screen. So you should really go there to...
Don't tell them our secret.
Oh, yeah, we're
Our
staking
secret
that out.
spot is Libby Hill.
If there's course tape, that's where Internet Hill will be, right there. And we're going to stake that out so you're all not invited. So as we're watching there...
what happened?
Well, we're sitting there and we're kind of watching the race, and there's it's a road race, so it takes like 20 minutes for the pack to come by again. And there's people trying to ride their bike up the hill, so we're like making, like kind of heckling them, encouraging them as they go up. And all of a sudden there's just this guy walking up the hill. And we're like, he's got a pretty nice Cannondale cross bike. And we're like, oh, come on, boo, ride it. And he like looks over and he's like, we're like, ride it. And then he shoulders his bike and runs on. And then pretty sure later, one of these guys from D.C., Taylor's like, hey, that was Tim Johnson. And then there was like a good 2-minute conversation about how it was not Tim Johnson, but it really was Tim Johnson. And then he's hanging out with Steve Johnson, former USA Cycling president, current 70-plus fat bike national champion.
Yes.
Fat bike nationals.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tim Johnson
way
was
to
there.
work that in. Good.
Yep, you're
That's
welcome.
excellent.
So, Richmond, everyone wants to know what the pros, who's going to win the race, and we're the experts. So we have picks.
That's scary.
We have picks.
Okay,
So first,
I gotta study my
but
picks.
before we get there, we have to give the huge shout out to the U.S. women, the junior women, 1-2 in both
Absolutely.
the triathlon.
1-2 in the road race, 1-2 in the time trial.
That was Chloe Dygart and Emma White. That's pretty rad. So
That's super bad.
it's probably the first medal since former Triple X racer 2004 Rebecca Much at the Hamilton World Championships in Canada. Did anyone go to the Hamilton World Championships in Canada?
Nice.
Seriously? 2003? I'm known for my facts. So do you like this course better than Hamilton?
They had a really long climb.
The escarpment.
So he's dodging the question.
What was that? Yeah, thank you. I thought you were Canadian for a while. The way you were not taking an answer. So, no, it's not better. Thank you.
All right. And where we go?
That was a fail. So, Chloe Dygart, Emma White, winners. Taylor Finney takes a gold medal for Team BMC in the Team Time Trial Championship. So right there's 3 champions from the old America.
So, yeah. So now we get the big show this weekend. We got the elite women coming up. We got the elite men.
We have
got
junior men tomorrow, right?
We do.
Junior, yeah.
Is there any good
Absolutely.
juniors?
Totally.
Probably.
Anybody? Number 1 ranked in the world? Who's that? Adrian Costa? Is he? Was that the guy that had the long face when he got a silver medal in the time trial? Yeah, I kind of felt bad for him.
But so we need to make predictions about these races, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why people are here. That's what they want to know. They want to know where to place their money when they go to unibet.com.
And we're definitely bank on what we're about to tell you.
Yeah, this is
So-
gold. This is what
And
your
we saw a lot
$5
of great
admission got
things.
you.
We saw unibet.com.
So-
That was a really good professional cycling team.
Yeah.
Sure.
They had the question mark jersey when they weren't allowed in the Tour de France. One of the with Bradley McGee. What's up?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
You broke Tim.
you're talking. We have gummy bears because you brought up Iran, and then I'm thinking about Carlos.
We do.
I'm thinking about Carlos
let's have-
Betancourt.
Let's have everybody pass these around.
We're huge Carlos Betancourt fans who's now going to be on a perfect team for him, Movistar. It's going to be amazing. He's going to hang out with Nairo. Nairo's going to make sure he stays thin. It's going to be good. So
we'll pass these around through the audience.
yeah, so
Everybody
have some
should get
gummy
a pack
bears.
of gummy
That was
bears.
really hard to get through TSA, by the way.
It was.
Did they
It
wonder?
was still questioned.
It was less
Really?
than 3
They
ounces.
questioned? They pull it out?
So-
We just started pulling them out.
Yeah. So you're lucky if you get a green gummy bear. That is
Green gummy bear. That's the best one.
That's the
Why
Betancourt.
did you decide that he's green gummy
Because
bear?
that's my favorite.
green
Like Carlos
gummy
Betancourt.
But why?
As soon as I said he was my favorite racer, he had a really bad season.
Yeah.
His Instagram, by the way, is amazing. Totally watch Carlos. It's all baby, and it's also like morning shots. Like he wakes up in the morning with his hair, and you're like, whoa. It's like you wake up next to him. My wife's like, did Carlos post again? And I'm like, yes. So at Libby Hill today, we saw some cool racing, U23. Before we get to the predictions,
We saw a Belgian crash on wet cobbles.
that was really... He's like one of those fast sprinter Belgians like Theo Boss. Pronounced correctly.
Not Belgian, though, yeah.
Oh, damn. Hey, this is my third world championship I've ever been to. Beat that. Except Hamilton guy. I went to the 2005 track world championships. I bet none of you were at that.
I guarantee none of you.
Yeah, I guarantee.
So the race today was really awesome. The French guy won, Kevin, whatever. But the really cool thing was the Italian guy that was attacking up Libby Hill, and then his DI2 failed. Did anybody else notice that?
Yeah.
He went small ring, small ring. It was like battery died. Fixed it.
Yeah.
And then later...
That was the move.
That was the
He
move.
had sat in
Oh.
that break all day, waiting to make that move, and then he made that move, and his bike shit the bed. And
So it's like
it
someone
was the
forgot
saddest.
to... It's like the mechanic is now is no longer employed. It's like they forgot to charge the battery, maybe?
I don't know.
It probably just
it
came
reminded me-
unplugged, like Spencer's
That's-
did. the one
That's what
time.
always happened to me. I sold my Di2 because I could not remember to charge the battery.
Because it's a stupid idea.
It's
just
pretty
get
stupid.
a cable. It works.
It's amazing and stupid. It's not stupid proof, and yeah,
No.
I failed.
You're
that
totally
test.
ruining the show over there.
So we got to see the race play out today. The U23.
The Irish guy sat on the front for like 5 laps. I didn't get it. Good TV time,
We've
apparently.
also seen this race or a similar race to this play out before on live national TV back in 2007. You watched that race, and your favorite racer won it, Tim.
Yeah, so exactly. This race has already happened before. If you want to know who's going to win, in 2007, the U.S. Open Championships were here, where they went up Libby Hill like 5 times. Does anyone remember this race? It was amazing. And who won? I thought it was Sven Tuft. And sadly, Sven Tuft already went home.
Yeah.
He had a really bad team time trial with Erika
So,
Greenidge.
so that race played out with him just being off the front by himself.
And it was pouring rain.
Yeah. And today's race,
yeah, he's on the move.
Whatever, you and your facts. Sven Tuft won. So,
see, this is why we do this at home.
yeah.
Yeah, usually
This
you
is
guys
all-
don't get to actually just yell these things.
Nobody
at
can
us.
call us out. But
So-
anyway, and today ended sort of not in a bunch sprint either. And kind of most people are predicting it to be a big group that goes to the line. And, do we think that's what's going to happen? And who's actually going to win?
No, that is not going to happen. What's going to happen, little guy?
Solo move.
What's that?
Solo move.
Solo move? Let's talk women's race first. Solo move in the women's race?
PFP.
PFP?
She's unstoppable.
Probably better than Marianne Voss at this point. She's the current
debatable.
4 world champion, right? She's the road currently, mountain bike, cyclocross, and team relay in the mountain bike. Bet you guys didn't know about that world championship
I
category.
don't even know what that is.
So do you think she's going to win PFP?
I just think she's unstoppable.
She looks pretty awesome. Hey, to explain it, because you don't know why you're here right now. You got dragged here, sorry. Really bad sports date. It's French woman, really, really fast. Current world champion. They help you out?
But
You're welcome.
sadly, she's not going to win.
She's not going to win? Who's going to win?
She's not going to win. This race is going to be dominated by the U.S. women. Megan Garnier is going to win this race tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.
Everybody shout out their favorite women's racer name right now.
Corinne Riviera?
Derek Lewis says Corinne Rivera.
We raced her on the track when she was 12 years old in Kenosha, and I won. Spencer was still a Cat 4. I was in the 1-2s. Well, maybe it was the 3s.
Maybe probably 3s, yeah.
But she's really fast. Megan Garnier. And then who else is on the women's team? Evelyn Stevens?
Evie Stevens, yeah. There's a lot of great women.
And then there's
any one of them could really win the race.
Wait, did they decide who the entire team is for the women?
Well, you see, Tim, there was actually some controversy there.
There was. Please, tell me more.
Allie Dragoo was nominated to the team, selected by USA Cycling.
So she's ready to go. She packed her bags to go to Richmond, was like, hey, I'm going to go race.
She was here. But then on Tuesday, all that changed.
Yeah? What happened?
Well, somebody else took it to arbitration, was like, no, it should be me, not her. And this person was actually on her trade team all year long.
That's going to be an awkward team training camp.
Yeah.
So she said, hey, you don't belong there, I belong there, and then it went to arbitration.
It did, and they ruled in favor, the independent arbitrator ruled in favor of Lauren Kaminsky.
I guess it went to arbitration.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. Like, is there bad blood? I don't know.
That's kind of weird.
It's super weird.
That'd be really
There's
sad.
probably bad blood.
You think so?
How would there not be bad blood?
It would be like if I was racing one night with you guys and, I thought you were dicks for some reason, and I just took off my jersey and put on a different jersey.
That never happened before at all.
And then we'd chase you down the rest of the night.
That was the longest car ride home. So we're racing the track. Spencer got really mad because I boxed him in accidentally. And then he went into the infield, took off the jersey, and put on the rival team's jersey. And like, I'm on a different team now. It's a little guy and I just chased him down all night.
We weren't even on a real team. We were on a fake team altogether.
No, well, the messenger team that we all had matching
it was
jerseys.
like fake, though.
That was a fake team.
It was a fake team.
But I had a real road team.
Yeah.
It was Birchwood.
And you went to your real road team.
And
like
I switched back to the road team.
Yeah, like a total traitor.
My wife-to-be was in the car that night driving home, and she was like, this is totally strange.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
We
were
really
angry.
mad.
Yeah.
That was really fun, though, chasing you down all night.
Oh, I was so mad. I kept attacking, and I kept attacking, and I kept getting chased down by jerks.
Yeah,
well, I hope Lauren Kaminsky, who's on the team, it did go to independent arbitration. Maybe they both agreed to go to arbitration, and this is what happened.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Why would you agree? Like, if you were nominated to the team and somebody else wanted to bring it to arbitration, I wouldn't be like, let's go to arbitration. We should decide.
They're teammates.
Who's the better person for this job?
Not
I'd be like,
for long,
screw
man.
you. I've been nominated. Go to hell.
I'd probably do that.
Yeah.
So you guys are both wrong because who's going to win the Women's World Championship? It's going to be Lizzie Armistead of Great Britain. Bank on it. Thank you. Who said that?
You're out of here. Throw him out of here.
I like your hair.
No agreeing with Tim.
Hey, so then the men's race, and we all know who's going to win, Zednik Stybar. What? With the cobble? Who?
I don't think so.
Tyler Farrar, great pick. Thank you.
Yeah.
We got a Degenkolb. Who else we got? Christoph, the Norwegian. The Norwegians on Libby Hill are going kind of crazy. Waiting for him. Tom Bonin. Oh, that'd be great. Tom Bonin.
I want to believe that Bonin can win, but I just don't think he can.
I believe.
I know. I just want to see it. Me and Spencer were talking about this before. I just want to see Bonin attack once on the cobbles. I don't care what happens. I just want to be there and witness that beauty going by on the front once. Because, all these other riders, a lot of them, it's exciting to see them, but Bonin is, one of the few we've been, watching since we were first into this, And he's like a god. And so, it will be glorious. So that's all I want out of tomorrow, really, or out of Sunday.
I would love a Tom Bonin attack. That'd be great.
I want to see a Bonin attack.
He is kind of like the last of the cyclists that were around when we first started watching.
Yeah.
So this could be it. None of the above?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have a good day on Sunday.
Peter Sagan? Who's that?
See, I can't remember that guy's name.
Sagan, maybe a second place. Someone said earlier.
Yeah.
I like that pick.
So it's going to be Peter Sagan. He's going to win. I'm excited to see the
That's
Bonin
not what
attack.
we have in the. Did you just change? What?
I don't go by your.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
ever
You're gonna
read
do
your
Peter
notes.
Sagan.
Who did you
Peter
write down?
Sagan's going to win. If that doesn't happen, my super dark horse pick that I think might be able to pull this off is Trenton from the Italian team.
Yeah.
He's the sleeper pick.
Sleeper pick?
He's not a popular pick.
My sleeper pick is Nibali because he's going to have the team car.
Oh.
It's going to be amazing.
So the way the cars were going up Libby Hill today, it wasn't very fast. I think it was faster to bike.
There
so
was
I don't think
a surprising
that's
lack
gonna help
of burning clutch
Kind
going up that hill.
Those Lexus are only automatic, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Trenton is your dark horse.
Yep.
Sagan, and who do you got, little guy?
I think Albacini's going to win.
Who's that?
What?
I think it's going to rain, and he's going to think it's whenever Romandy is, like end of May or some shit. He's going to be like, he's going to get tricked, and then he'll win.
That's totally, I don't even know, what team is he on?
Psychological.
Swedish or Swiss?
Oh, he's the Swiss
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah.
He's an Orica Green Edge,
Yeah,
so it's not going to, wait,
he
so
just
he's going to
signed-
win over Bling Matthews?
God, I hope so. Oh, I hope so.
What will you do if
I might
Matthews
have to like
wins?
reach out and grab Bling Matthews on the hill or something if he's on the.
You're going to be that guy?
Have you
I
guys
might
ever
be
seen
that
his
guy.
tattoo that Bling Matthews has on his back? Isn't it like the world championship stripes? It's like the eagle.
Oh, I have no idea.
What is he world champion for?
No, he's not the world champion yet. He's leaving it so he can do it. He's a U23 world champion?
Okay.
Oh, God.
So he has a reason he can actually have that tattoo. All right.
We're getting into the weeds here, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, so Albacini.
Albacini.
Yeah.
That is a classic little guy pick. Good job.
I'll be so excited if he wins. Oh my god.
He's like, his Vegas odds are probably through the roof. Yeah.
Almost as good as roller derby. Did anybody ever play roller derby online? That was the greatest fantasy cycling
Let's bring it
website
back.
ever. Let's bring it back. Anyways, he's here right now. So, any questions?
So do we all make our picks? Is everything good?
Yeah, because I picked Zednik Stybar, who's going to win.
Have we answered all our Twitter questions and everything?
Yep. Degenkolb would be a pretty good pick.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty exciting. Have you guys watched the movie on Netflix about Degenkolb? And that's probably the best cycling documentary that's out there right now recently. So you should totally watch that. And then you're going to want Degenkolb to win.
Okay.
I'm killing time here, so we should probably wrap this up.
I think people are just tweeting about this show right now, and they're burying all the questions.
Well, first off, thanks to the Coalition Theater for having us.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Real shot in the dark. Thanks, Mike Engel. Thanks for the emailing. Little guy's critique of that was like, hey guys, we got this comedian email us. Little guy's like, dude, we should totally do it. We should totally get him up there. It's going to be no worse than us.
That's great.
And it wasn't. It was much better. So thank you, Mike. I'd like to thank Richmond Cycling Corps for coming by and saying hi. Bill from Crosshairs. Beer is still $2.
That's true.
Beer is still $2, and they're going to have it for that. And then, do you have anything else?
I just want to say happy birthday to Caitlin. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I'm here.
It's being periscoped. I'm sure she's on it.
We're all sorry we're here.
Yeah. And then, what's that? Where's the foam party?
Where isn't the foam party?
Yeah.
No.
We still have like 24 hours to plan a foam party. I'm sure we can pull this off, just like last time.
Yeah.
There-
We pressed little guy for a Greenway story this week.
I know
real hard.
they've been like bugging me, and I haven't spent much time on the Greenway. Sorry, I don't have a Greenway story. I can tell you, I bought a really stupid KHS cross bike, or just a frame, and I can't get any cranks to fit on it. They all hit the chain stays, so it's a piece of crap. So that's exciting. It's like a Greenway story in my basement.
All right.
All right. And with that, one final thing.
Thank BK. What?
What do we got to do?
We're like a dogs. What?
What?
Squirrel?
We don't
What's up?
respond.
Okay.
All right, one final thing.
So we got to thank BK1 for our
Yeah, we got to thank
intro and outro
BK1
music.
of Rhymesayers Entertainment. I screw this up all the time. From his album Tema Du Cannibal.
You guys would think after 76 episodes, Tim would figure out
I'm gonna nail
the
this.
thing that's the same
I'm going to
every
nail
week.
this. Hey, when you see crap, I already screwed it up.
You know, you usually have it in front of you, and
I
then
know,
this
so
week you rewrote it and you don't.
Always. Oh, wait. First, review us on iTunes and Stitcher.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
Leave
we
us.
should probably do that.
That's great. Thanks for tweeting us, finding us at the Slow Ride Pod, and then always wave at your fellow spandex clown suit wearing nerds.
Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Always wave.
You nailed
Don't be
it.
that guy. Let's go. That's it.
All right.
The Slow Ride Podcast. Bikes, advice, and rumors straight from the source. TheSlowRidePodcast.com and on Twitter at TheSlowRidePod.
And as they are getting ready, we're going to have a local stand-up comic come warm you guys up a little bit. Everybody, please give a warm welcome. You can find his podcast online also. It's a night of podcasts. It's called Endless Bummer. Check it out. I hear it's on... Oh, God. I hear it's on iTunes. Everybody, please give a warm welcome to Mike Engel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Engel. Hello. Hi. Awesome. Yes. So this is what a live podcast audience looks like. There's a lot more people than I would have imagined. So give yourselves a round of applause, first of all. Yay. I guess we already got out of the way that there aren't any people that aren't from Richmond, but if there are people who are from out of town, this is how I would describe Richmond. Essentially, Richmond, Virginia is if Austin, Texas, and Portland, Oregon had a love child. I mean, you've got Portland, who's like the wafy, kind of innocent, we've got vegan restaurants on purpose. That's something that exists here, as well as many tattoo shops as we have Starbucks, and as many Starbucks as we have local coffee shops. Always support local, you guys know. But as far as Austin goes, Austin, Texas, we're similar in that way, unfortunately, because Richmond, we're the safe haven for the weirdos. We're the little tiny bubble, but surrounded by it, there's still all the horrible racism stuff. That's what being Southern is. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's like you're in a bubble. You're a safe haven. But now I'm going to tell you about the first time. All right, now that we've depressed the room, we're going to talk about the first time that I got stitches. It was bike-related, and sometimes in the city, you have sidewalk. I was sidewalk slamming it on my mountain bike. I was 21 years dumb, and sometimes in the sidewalk there's a dip. There's a distinct dip. Well, it turns out when you're carrying 2 glass 40s, it's not a good decision to be on a bike. But, I was on a fixie. I backpedal. Glass explosion. Just a huge glass explosion. Face plant. My hand is bleeding profusely. We get to the ER, and things get a little funnier. When my friend Mike, he's like, your pants, there's blood all over. There's blood on the pants. You should probably take those pants off. I'm just like, Mike, you're just trying to see me in my underpants. I know how this is going, but turns out, open it up. Like raw hamburger meat. It was disgusting. It was a thigh-gina. I didn't know whether to eat it or get intimate with it. That was where I was at. Turns out, we get back, because of technology, on Facebook, they sent out a Mike Engel Got Stitches party invite, so everyone comes on over. Only one of those, I had 2 40s. One 40 exploded and caused me so many injuries. Totally drank that other 40 when I got back where all my friends were. And but one guy I didn't know, he was giving me a lot of strife about, I rolled my own cigarettes back then. Like, why are you rolling up your... don't you know that's bad for you? I'm like, well, duh. It's a cigarette, and it's unfiltered. Of course it's bad for me. But I was smoking my own blood. That's pretty cool. I don't know what level of witchcraft or wizardry that is, but I was having a grand old time. So that's my bike story and my stitches story. Thanks so much. I'm Mike Engel. Who's ready for the Slow Ride Podcast? Give it up.